Hey everybody, this week's episode is brought to you by Deep Creek Glassworks. Ornaments, pendants, straws, marbles, wine glasses, and functional glass, all unique, durable, and handcrafted. Support a local artist and visit Tanner at Deep Creek Glassworks. That's www.etsy.com/shop/Deep Creek Glassworks. That's WORX. Their creations are stronger glass than what you'll find in stores, so take it from their hands into your home at Deep Creek Glassworks. And just for our listeners, if you enter promo code SUPERFUN, you'll get 10% off of your next order. Once again, that's www.etsy.com/shop/Deep Creek Glassworks.
Welcome to the super fun game review podcast. Go Mega Ultra Between Review Show down. All right, I'm here with Nathan Barnatt, YouTube personality and incredible dancer. Yes.
Incredible that I can dance is the right thing.
Well, so I was here like 2 years ago, and we were here with some friends, and I hadn't heard of you yet, and then I saw Keith up on stage, and it was absolutely incredible. I was one of the people that hopped up on stage and was just fully a part of the show. It was amazing. So what drove you to I guess be a content creator on YouTube?
I don't know. Should I hold it? Would it be easier? So you have to hold your hand there. I don't know. I've always liked performing. Ever since I was little, I just liked to perform and be acting and doing comedy, I guess. So the very first thing I ever did, I guess, to give it a little bit of backstory, was in high school. We did a sketch comedy show called The Sweet Ride, and it aired on cable access. So ever since then, I haven't stopped doing it. So that's kind of where it started. And I also have a love for video games, so that's how Keith started. I wanted to do a series on a guy who was just obsessed with video games. But I was cutting myself off now because I kind of start rambling. I start to go on tangents. But yeah, I just kind of always liked doing it, so I just keep doing it.
Okay. So you have a very unique dancing style and stuff, and I remember reading you aren't classically trained in any way. So what was your inspiration for dancing? What made you start it all?
My unique style is that I don't know how to dance. Everyone asks me if I was trained or where I learned to dance, and I tell everyone no, I don't know how to dance, because I may look like I know how to dance because I like to dance. I'm just like anyone who just likes to dance. Mine just happens to be more, it's big, so I think it tricks people into thinking it's good, because if I just go big hard for a while, it's you can't not look at the guy doing something different, and unique. So I think I'm sort of just scamming everybody, and by doing these big elaborate dance moves that anyone could do. But I guess maybe not everyone. Some people really can't dance at all, I'm sure. But when I do actual videos, music videos with choreographers, it's incredibly hard for me to keep up and learn a choreography. And for me, say after 2 days I get the choreography down, it just doesn't look as good as everyone else. It's not as tight. Real dancers, I think, can do a specified movement on a dime. It's okay, and do your ba-boo-ba-boo, and it's I can't, because I'm thinking of okay, so after this move comes this. If I'm in my head thinking, the way I dance is I just have to do whatever I'm going to do, and I just feel the music and just do, which I tend to then repeat moves because I'm not a dancer and I only have so many moves in my head, and you're just sort of making things up as you're going. It's the next thing I'll do is I'll throw my hand here, and then since I did it that way, I'll do it with the other arm now, and then I'll keep repeating. And it's more like aerobic is how I dance. It's 80s aerobic instructor. So I don't say I'm a dancer. I just like to dance. So I've just always liked to dance. So then that became Keith, who did I like video games. Keith came out. I like to dance. So I started adding dancing into my videos, and that is why you now see it. But I feel bad for real dancers. It's an insult to them when I'm called a real dancer. But then I have had real dancers be no, you can dance or whatever. So I'm yeah, whatever. I just am too self-deprecating, and I always make fun of myself. So that's my answer.
Awesome. I'll just do one quick question before we get kicked out of here.
This is my room. This is KeithCon 2020. I can do what I want. They made a major typo. It does not say Keith Apicary right there.
Just put some duct tape on.
Yeah, we should actually. Good thinking.
Yeah. So I gotta ask you, what was it like working on in professional music videos? Then did that make you feel like validated for like your unique dance style?
Yeah, it's definitely cool because has always been the goal for everything. It's like, to get in something big, to get paid like a real paycheck, obviously, so I can get paid to make things. It's nice. Not that I only care about money, but like when you're doing stuff and you're spending your whole life doing it and you're like beating your body down and you're not getting paid, it is nice to then be validated and be pulled into a real big professional thing and get paid for it. So it is nice to then have it all work out and pay off. And it does make me feel more like a real dancer when I have these like world-class choreographers choreographing me. And I tell them from the beginning, like I did that. I mentioned during my panel earlier here at Too Many Games that I was in a Imagine Dragons video that never came out. So who was watching this, and you guys never saw it, but it was a video for Imagine Dragons, and we spent like days working with a choreographer, learning this choreography, because like I'm not a dancer, so it took longer. The dancers who were in it all picked it up so fast, and like they knew the choreographer because they work with her all the time. I, as an actor, and then there's two other guys who were just actors in it as well. It was hard. We're physical people, so like that was partly why we got it. And they'd seen all my dance videos, and I had to say to the choreographer, I was like, I'm not a dancer. It's going to take me a while. So we were doing it for like hours, all day. It was about a 12-hour rehearsal day. And then during the next day, during the shoot, we rehearsed every second we could to get it down so it looked good for like this big, elaborate video. And it's just kind of crazy. It's like I'm just a guy who does comedy who's now been pulled in, and I'm doing like what a legitimate dancer would do, like in a Britney Spears video, and I'm just some guy who likes to play video games and do comedy and prank people sometimes. So it is pretty cool to be like in all these different worlds and I guess walks of entertainment. So it does, I guess, validate me in a way that makes me feel good. But I still will say I'm not a dancer. I just like to dance. But now I'm getting paid for it, so I guess that it doesn't get more professional than that. But I'll still never look at myself as a real dancer.
But like, what's next? Like, I know you had like the two short films. Is Milford out yet?
Not yet.
Okay, yeah, I started to see some stuff come up on your YouTube. So what's next after Milford? Like, what are you gonna continue like directing and writing short stories?
Yeah, I have an idea that I want to start shooting now. And it would star Phoebe Neidhart and myself, the girl who was in Neutral with me, the girl that breaks down in the car with me. It'd be very different. She would look very different. It would be like in a sort of another dimension in a way. It's a comedy. It's more of a comedy. I've been doing a lot of like these shorts look good, but like none of them been really funny. Neutral's was humorous, but Milford is not funny at all. So I'm thinking, okay, after this comes out, I need to do like a straight up comedy because that's what I'd like to do, and haven't been doing it, and I'm getting all this money from people to do things that I've never done. So I'm like, I feel a little bad for the audience. It's like, do something funny. I wrote my character Ray Amsley with the wooden peg leg. I wrote a short for him that I think is like the funniest thing I've ever written. So I want to shoot that, but that would cost another $30,000, and I don't know if I have it in me to like ask the internet for more money because it's like so taxing, and I hate doing the whole, please donate, keep going. We have 4 days left, everyone. We're 10,000 away. I hate doing that stuff. But it's kind of the only way I have right now to like make things. So I have other shorts planned, but like right now I'm working on a couple of TV things we're talking to networks about, and I'm hoping one of those takes off and I can get paid to like write on a thing we're developing. But as things I'll put out, I want to do more shorts, but I really want to do a feature. Neutral, that's what I should say. The big main project that I want to put out. There's a lot going on. I'm always trying to do too much. But Neutral is a feature film. So the one you saw is Act 1, and there'll be 2 more 20-something minute acts that will make like a 61 hour, 20, whatever movie. So Act 2 I have written. Act 3 I have outlined. Act 2 I could start shooting soon, but it's like I need to decide between Ray Amsley or the thing with Phoebe in the other dimension or Neutral Part 2. But it should be Neutral Part 2 so I can like have a feature under my belt. But a feature is like my big main goal, to like make a feature on my own or have someone give me a ton of money to do the whole thing. That would be the best. And I could just reshoot Act 1 of Neutral and then the other 2 parts all as one big project.
Yeah, that's the dream.
That would be nice. But I don't have anyone giving me $500,000 right now. So, yeah.
All right, man. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. The panel was awesome. Your show last night was awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to see you.
Well, thank you for watching.
All right. All right. I am here at RetroSoft Studios with Mike, and he is going to tell us a little more about RetroMania Wrestling.
Hey guys, good to talk to you. Yeah, we're coming out first quarter of 2020 with RetroMania Wrestling. It's a kind of a throwback 2D sprite-based wrestling game like the old arcade games, and a 16-32-bit era on like the Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, Super NES game. So we have licensed wrestlers such as the Road Warriors, Tommy Dreamer, and some of the other guys on here. We're going to have 12 to 16 playable characters, lots of different modes, including the story mode, 1 to 8 players. So guys, check it out when you can.
So have you always been like a fan of wrestling, and that's why you kind of went with like the old school, like eclectic guys?
Yeah, so I started growing up watching, WWF, NWA wrestling a lot when I was a kid. Big video games. First games I played were on the Atari, 1 button only. And then got more buttons, and the games, I didn't like the wrestling games as much, the latest stuff. So I still play, I still own an Xbox One, a PS4, and a Switch. I play all the new stuff too. But I thought there weren't a lot of wrestling games out there at all, and they all seemed kind of the same. So I decided, I'm going to make my own. I loved WrestleFest, the arcade game, as a kid, and that's what this is really inspired after. Yep.
So is this the first game that you guys have done, or what's your background in gaming, really?
So I am the least experienced of our team as far as a gaming background. My background is accounting and finance software, actually. I'm a software engineer by trade, but this is the first game I'm diving into. But like I said, we have 17 people working on the game now, all of which have published titles before in the past. Some of them just, multiple mobile games. Some of them, my art director, for example, has been working in the industry since the Sega Genesis doing sprite-based artwork. So we have a lot of experience on the team working on the game.
All right, that's really awesome. And you said Q1 2020 for that? All right, thank you very much. It was really nice to meet you. All right, I am here with the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer. So how did you get associated with them?
A friend of mine who used to work with WWE was involved in all the video games. He told me it was about a company that believed in old school wrestling games, and it's also his personal money. And we just hit it off, and kind of like from the original ECW, I will support anybody following their dreams, and it's a real deal, and we kind of came together, and I like that because, WWE has 99.9% of the market share for a wrestling game, and just like right now we're seeing a resurgence in professional wrestling where you can see alternate products, and this is just an alternate product for video gamers, and I'm an old school gamer. I've had every system since Atari 26. I'm old. I'm 48. And I still play with my kids. I'm a little mad at PSP. We won't even get into that because you guys now, if I become president, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, all you gaming system companies. You make a game, and then you stop making the game, and I go get a new system. My kids love their Wii, but guess what? We can't get new systems. So if I become president, all you guys and airlines are going to answer to me. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, man, that's amazing. All right, I got to ask you some wrestling questions. Sure. What is your favorite match that you participated in all time?
I don't have a favorite match. This is all I want to do since I was 9 years old. 2 weeks ago, I got to tag with the Great Muta at my own company, House of Hardcore, and that was a dream come true, and the match was off the charts. I love doing this, so I've wrestled the best, from AJ Styles, Edge, John Cena, Batista. Well, the list goes on and on. I'm still happy to still be doing it. I did 206 shows last year, and I'm on par to do the same, so I'm all good.
All right, that's awesome, man. I just wanted to ask you, like the 2 quick questions. I really appreciate it.
That's it?
Yeah,
that was easy.
All right. Thank you.
Too Many Games 2019. This is Harry speaking. I am here with Matt Papalardo from the Great Gaias, or Horizon's End. We're going to talk about their new project in the making today, Gjallarhorn? Gjallarhorn. So I did get to play a little demo. It's still in the progress. But But Matt, tell us about what some of the inspiration is going into this game.
All right, so Gjallarhorn is basically our take from what we've learned with the Great Gaias, trying to kind of infuse the Dungeons & Dragons aspect into a JRPG genre. So we're kind of branding this new title as a westernized fusion JRPG. So it's going to be kind of like a feel of Baldur's Gate meets Final Fantasy Tactics meets Stardew Valley. It's all going to be a sandbox crafting. You start out as a slave, so a lot of it is going to be you having to gather your own materials to craft all of your items, and there's alchemy and blacksmithing, tailoring, all the kind of classics that from most crafting systems going out there. But I think a lot of inspiration from this. We're still focused on the same world that we've been working on. It's been a long process. I've been a dungeon master for over 20 years, so a lot of narratives that went into the Great Gaias. Not exactly will be a direct sequel per se, but it would definitely be cool to see some of the things if you had played both titles going into this one.
So after making the Great Gaias, what are some of the things you've learned going into this next title that'll help you enhance this project?
That's a great question, because for the Great Gaias, it took 7 years to make the Great Gaias, and a lot of that was us having to backtrack over things that we were doing as neophyte like developers. So going forward into this game, we spent 6 months just in spreadsheets and documents and pre-planning and events and systems and getting the programming team on board early on so that they could we could test the game as we play it instead of having to kind of rush back with a lot of the Great Gaia stuff. And it's we're like ups and downs with Kickstarters and stuff. We kind of were winging that one. This one we have like a much more direct path to exactly what we're doing. I think we're actually going to make some deadlines this time, so it's good.
So I know you guys had like a very small team making Great Gaias. A lot of those members are returning, if I'm correct. Have you guys expanded in bringing in new talent to help with the game as well?
Well, a lot of the stuff that we happened with the Great Gaias, were a lot of independent contractors and people that weren't completely, like in it with us to the end. So in the Great Gaias, you'll see some artwork will be kind of mismatched effect from different pixel artists to pixel artists. Right now, our final pixel artist from the Great Gaias, we've employed him for over 5 years now, and he's returning. His name's Piotr. He's from Poland. He's fantastic. He produces all of the landscapes and most of the character sprites that you'll see going forward into into Gjallarhorn. In Great Gaias, he was responsible for tile building sets, things like that. Our composer, Brian Davis, who did half of Great Gaias' soundtrack, is returning to completely do that solo, and he's been fantastic, and taking him through all the loops and this new world has been really great, because he's responsible for breathing a lot of life that goes into the tonality of what we're trying to express here. And other than that, we are bringing in a new group of team from our friends from Bosnia, actually, and they're actually doing an initiative to actually help the workforce there. So it's a lot of kids and students, so a lot of our funding went to some of their developers, and we've actually been using a lot of people, in a developing country, that was, went through some crises of the past, and now they're building up their economy, and it's been fantastic actually working with them, and we've been employing about 4 of them for, the better portion of a year now, and they're responsible for building all the really cool infused Dungeons & Dragons systems, and they're having a lot of fun doing this, and, it's good to do something for a community out there, too, so I think it's cool, two birds with one stone.
Yeah. So where can our listeners come and find the work that's done so far on the project?
So the work we're really done right now has been kind of teased on maybe Twitter and Facebook for now, but soon our website's going to start having that, and we're hoping to have a playable demo by the end of the year that will encompass a little bit of what's going on, our early access, if you will. You can kind of see some of the stuff that we've been doing on HorizonsEnd.com and our Facebook, which is Horizons End Gaming. And I don't remember our Twitter. That's Brian's job.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank Matt today for speaking with me, the man, the myth, the legend of Great Gaias. Pleasure. Thank you.
So we're here at Too Many Games 2019, and we are checking out a hyperspace delivery service. So we're here with Mike, the creator and everything. How's everything going for you this year?
Great. Good reception. A lot of people checking out the game. It's fun.
Awesome. So how long have you been developing this game?
I developed the game for like 4 years in my spare time.
Yeah. So what do you do aside from your spare time?
I'm a web developer.
Oh, okay, so still kind of up your alley a little bit. Awesome. So is this just like a one-man show, or you have a couple people helping out?
It's mainly me. I do the programming, the game design, and the music, and I have an artist who helps out.
Oh, awesome. So where do you think you're at, like, development-wise for the game? Is it pretty much ready to launch, still working out some bugs?
Oh, we actually launched in March. The game's out right now on Steam, trying to see where else I can launch it, but right now it's available on Steam.
That's very awesome. So I see, is it pretty much just PC based right now with Steam? Are you maybe thinking of trying to put on like a console, or are we strictly like sticking PC?
I'm looking for consoles, but I gotta find support to do that. So
really takes some of the work for that. Well, the game's pretty cool. So tell us a little bit about the game.
So the game, Hyperspace Delivery Service, it's you're hired by a delivery company to deliver a package across the galaxy, and you have a set number of days in your contract to do that. It's a perilous journey. You go planet to planet, you got to manage your ship, your supplies, your resources, and your crew, keep everyone alive, and just keep going and make your delivery.
That's pretty much the important thing, keep everything as you go.
Yeah.
So is it something where the crew that you're set with, that's all you have? You pick some stragglers up along the way?
So you get the crew in the beginning, and you get to name them. You can give them all names to name your ship. You can't hire new crew as you go along, but you can pick up passengers along the way.
And it's a really interesting feel going from when you're in hyperspace and you have your battles outside, and then it switches over to first-person shooter. What kind of wanted you to make a combination between the two?
Yeah, it was so there's a first-person shooter mini game, and then there's like a space fighting mini game. And the idea is basically, I was playing some old school first-person shooters one day while developing this game, and I was like, ooh, I got to add this to my game. So I just added it as a mini game.
You definitely get the feel of that. It kind of takes you back to kind of like a Doom, Wolfenstein-esque of that kind of stuff, so it's really good. So that's pretty much the type of games that I'm sure with a lot of us that you kind of grew up with.
Exactly, yeah. So games I grew up with, so I just add them in as mini games.
That's awesome, man. Well, just want to say, everybody check out Hyperspace Delivery Service from Zotnip Games. If you need any questions, Mike at Zotnip Games. So are you just doing convention here? You're going to be able to find you around doing a little circuit?
Right now, this is the only one on the books, but I just did PAX in Boston, so that was fun.
Cool. Where do you work out of? Where's your studio?
I'm in Jersey.
Okay. Oh, keep it local.
Oh, yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mike. Awesome game and best of luck. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.